Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Padadash Raghunath Sharda Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। ग्रंथराज Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam की जय. This is the next part we're on now. Dandavat pranams Rup Manjari Didi and Madhavi Didi. Alright, so do you remember which verse we read up to yesterday? I think we read up to 4, but I can't. Maybe we read 5. Anyways, they're short. We can just reread them. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad-Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bdale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratvishe namaha. Guruve gaurachandraya radhikaya tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna bhaktaya tarbhaktaya namo namaha. Yam prabrajantam anupetam apetakrityam dvaipayano viraha katara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya tarobhinedu stang sarvabhuta hridaya munimanatosmi. Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Shrinvatang svakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridantasto hyabadrani vidhunoti suhritsatam. Nashta prayeshvabadeshu nityang bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptashtakamaditaranka madhe kripa maitam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Indira Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Raseshwari Mataji, Hari Bol. Okay, yeah, we read, yeah, I do remember reading text 5. Yeah, that's probably where we stopped. All right. So, Ramchandra, oops, no. Okay, so we read Katavanga's lineage and prayers to Lord Ram. So now after, whose dynasty did we, okay, so Balika's dynasty is Balika, Dasharath, Ardavidi, Vishvasaha, then Katavanga. Then Katavanga's dynasty, and who is Katavanga? Katavanga, anyways, I'm just gonna continue on. Then Katvanga's dynasty, then Dirgabahu, Raghu, Aja, Dasharath. Then from Dasharath came Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna, who were the 4 Vishnu Tattva forms of the Supreme Lord who appeared in response to the prayers by the demigods. Jai Shri Ramachandra ki Jai. Shukadev Goswami told Parikshit, Lord Ram's transcendental activities have been described by Tattvadarshis, our great saints who have seen the truth, such as in Valmiki's Ramayana. Because repeatedly, I shall describe them in brief. And there's a note here. Although there are many so-called Ramayans, some of them are not authoritative. Lord Ram's pastimes are sometimes described by imaginations, speculations, and material sentiments. Unless one is Tattvadarshi in full knowledge of the absolute truth, one cannot describe the Lord's activities. Lord Ramachandra gave up kingdom to keep his father's promise, and walked in the forest on his delicate lotus feet that were unable to bear even the touch of Sita's palms. His fatigue of walking was relieved by Hanuman and Lakshman. He cut off the nose and ears of Shurpanaka and was separated from Sita. He became angry at the ocean, constructed a bridge across the ocean, and entered Ravan's kingdom. May that Lord Ramachandra, who burns the forest of demons, protect us. May Ram, killer of demons such as Maricha and in Vishwamita's, may Ram, killer of demons such as Maricha and Vishwamita's sacrifice, give us protection. Now we're going to read about the Sita Swayamvar. Oh, and just letting you guys know, the Wi-Fi hasn't been working, and so I'm using mobile data. If the connection is too choppy, let me know. Vishwamitra dvarayena marichadya nishachara Pashyato Lakshmanasyaiva Hatta Nairita Pungava. Actually, I remember reading this one. Anyways, in the arena of the sacrifice performed by Vishwamitra, Lord Ramachandra, the king of Ayodhya, killed many demons, rakshasas, and uncivilized men who wandered at night in the mode of darkness. May Lord Ramachandra, who killed these demons in the presence of Lakshman, be kind enough to give us protection. And just want to see what verse are we reading up to 25. Okay. Yo lokavira samito dhanuraishamugram Sita swayamvara grihe trishato panitam Adaya bala gajalila ivekshuyashtim Saji kritam nripavrikshya babanja. Let me try that again. Saji kritam nripavrikshya babanjamadhe Jitvanurupa gunashila vayongarupam Sita bidham shriyam urasya bhilabdamanam marge vrajan brigupater vyanayat prarudham darpam mahim akritayastrir arajabijam. Remember, every time this little question mark comes up, that means it's an N with a squiggly over it. No. O king, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra were wonderful, like those of a baby elephant. In the assembly where Mother Sita was to choose her husband, In the assembly where Mother Sita was to choose her husband in the midst of the heroes of this world, he broke the bow belonging to Lord Shiva. This bow was so heavy that it was carried by 300 men. But Lord Ramachandra bent and strung it and broke it in the middle, just as a baby elephant breaks a stick of sugarcane. Thus the Lord achieved the hand of Mother Sita, who is equally as endowed with transcendental qualities of form, beauty, behavior, age, and nature. Indeed, she was the goddess of fortune who constantly rests on the chest of the Lord. While returning from Sita's home after gaining her at the assembly of competitors, Lord Ramachandra met Parshuram. Although Parshuram was proud, having rid of the royal order 21 times, he was defeated by the Lord, who appeared to be a kshatriya of the royal order. Yasatya pasha parivita piturnidesham strainasya chapi shirasa jagrihe sabharya rajam shriyam pranayina suhrido nivasam tyaktva yayo vanamasun iva mukta sangha. Carrying out the order of his father, who was bound by a promise to his wife, Lord Ramachandra left behind his kingdom, its friends, well-wishers, residents, and everything else, just as a liberated soul gives up his life, and went to the forest with Sita. Purport. One second, I just need to clear my throat. Purport. Maharaj Dasharath had 3 wives. One of them, Kaikeyi, served him very pleasingly, and he therefore wanted to give her a benediction. Kaikeyi, however, asked for the benediction when it was necessary. At the time of the coronation of Prince Ram, Kaikeyi requested her husband to enthrone her son Bharat and send Ramchandra to the forest. Maharaj Dasharath, being bound by his promise, ordered Ramachandra to go to the forest according to the dictation of his beloved. And the Lord, as an obedient son, accepted the order immediately. He left everything without hesitation, just as a liberated soul or a great yogi gives up his life without material attraction. Rakshas swasur vyakrita rupam ashuddha buddhes tasya khara trishira dushana mukhya bandhun jagne chaturdasha sahasrama paraniya kodanda panirata atamana uvasakrichram. While wandering in the forest, where he accepted a life of hardship, carrying his invincible bow and arrows in his hands, Lord Ramachandra deformed Ravana's sister, who was polluted with lusty desires, by cutting off her nose and ears. He also killed her 14,000 Rakshasa friends, headed by Kara, Trishira, and Dushana. Sita kata shravana dipita hrichayena srishtam vilokya nripate dashakandarena jagned bhuttaina vapushashramato pakrisho marichamashu vishikhena yata kamugra. O King Parikshit, when Ravan, who had 10 heads on his shoulders, heard about the beautiful and attractive features of Sita, his mind was agitated by lusty desires, and he went to kidnap her. To distract Lord Ramachandra from his ashram, Ravan sent Maricha in the form of a golden deer, and when Lord Ramachandra saw that wonderful deer, he left his residence and followed it, and finally killed it with a sharp arrow, just as Shiva killed Daksha. Rakshodhamena vrikavad vipine samaksham Vaideha raja duhitaryapaya pitayam Bhratra vane kripanavat priyaya viyukta Stri sanginam gatemiti pratayangshachara. When Ramachandra entered the forest and Lakshman was also absent, the worst of the Rakshasas, Ravan, kidnapped Sita Devi, the daughter of the king of Videha, just as a tiger seizes unprotected sheep when the shepherd is absent. Then Lord Ramachandra wandered in the forest with his brother Lakshman, as if very much distressed due to separation from his wife. Thus he showed by his personal example the condition of a person attached to women. Purport. In this verse, the words Stri Sanginam Gatim Iti indicates that the condition of a person attached to women was shown by the Lord himself. According to moral instructions, Grihe Narim Vivarjayet. When one goes on a tour, one should not bring his wife. Formerly, men used to travel without conveyances. But still, as far as possible, when one leaves home, one should not take his wife with him, especially if one is in such a condition as Lord Ramachandra when banished by the order of his father. Whether in the forest or at home, if one is attached to women, this attachment is always troublesome, as shown by the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his personal example. Of course, this is the material side of Stri Sangi, but the situation of Lord Ramachandra is spiritual, for he does not belong to the material world. Narayana paro vyaktat. Narayan is beyond the material creation. Because he is the creator of the material world, he is not subject to the conditions of the material world. The separation of Lord Ramachandra from Sita is spiritually understood as Vipralamba, which is an activity of the Hladini potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead belonging to Shringar Ras, the mellow of conjugal love in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has all the dealings of love, displaying the symptoms called Sattvic, Sanchari, Vilap, Murcha, and Unmada. Thus, when Lord Ramachandra was separated from Sita, all the spiritual symptoms were manifested. The Lord is neither impersonal nor impotent. Rather, he is Satchid Ananda Vigraha, the eternal form of knowledge and bliss. Thus, he has all the symptoms of spiritual bliss. Feeling separation from one's beloved is also an item of spiritual bliss. As explained by Swarup Damodar Goswami, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shaktihi. The dealings of love between Radha and Krishna are displayed as the pleasure potency of the Lord. The Lord is the original source of all pleasure, the reservoir of all pleasure. Lord Ramachandra, therefore, manifested the truth both spiritually and materially. Materially, those who are attached to women suffer. But spiritually, when there are feelings of separation between the Lord and his pleasure potency, the spiritual bliss of the Lord increases. This is further explained in the Bhagavad Gita 9:11. Avajananti mam mudha manusham tannum ashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. One who does not know the spiritual potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead thinks of the Lord as an ordinary human. But the Lord's mind, intelligence, and senses can never be affected by material conditions. This fact is further explained in the Skanda Puran as quoted by Madhvacharya. Nitya Purna Sukho Jnana Swaruposo Vyato Vibhu Atosya Rama Ityakya Tasya Dukkam Kuton Vapi Tatapi Loka Shikshartam Adukho Dukkavait Avartivat Antarhitam Lokadrishta Sitam Asit Smaram Iva Jnana Panartam Punar Nitya Sambandha Svatmana Shriya Ayodhyaya Vinirgacham Sarvalokasya Cheshvara Pratyaksham Tu Shriya Sardam Jagamana Diravyaya Nakshatra Masa Ganitam Trayodasha Sahasrakam Brahmaloka Samam Chakre Samastam Kshiti Mandalam Ramo Ramo Rama Iti Sarvesham Abhavat Tada Sarva Rama Mayo Loko Yada Ramang Tvapalayat. Where is that from? That was from Skanda Puran. It was actually impossible for Ravan to take away Sita. The form of Sita taken by Ravan was an illusory representation of Mother Sita, as Maya Sita. When Sita was tested in the fire, this Maya Sita was burnt, and the real Sita came out of the fire. A further understanding to be derived from this example is that a woman, however powerful she may be in the material world, must be given protection, for as soon as she is unprotected, she'll be exploited by Rakshasas like Ravan. Here the words Vaideha Raja Duhittari indicates that before Mother Sita was married to Lord Ramachandra, she was protected by her father, Vaideha Raj. And when she was married, she was protected by her husband. Therefore, the conclusion is that a woman should always be protected. According to the Vedic rule, there is no scope for a woman's being independent. Asamaksham, for a woman cannot protect herself independently. Dagdvatmakritta hatakritta sakyaya kapibhir daita gating budvatavani hate plavagendra sanyar. Had assumed the form of a human being. Thus he performs the ceremony of he went to the beach and Rama was abstracted of life. Man, saying, yeah, dang it. Like the internet's back again now. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you. Hmm. Yeah, that's my Rupanjari DDs. Okay, let's say Shri Mataji typing. And Rupanjari both are typing. Okay, I'm not sure. I came back long enough to say dang it. And now it's better. Okay. I wonder if I should continue on. What? We're reading up to 20. We're on 15. All right. Well, let me know I should stop. And we can continue tomorrow. Wait, what's Rupanjari? I'll just keep on saying dang it. That's the magic incantation. Okay. Yeah, Shavi Brahma Vivritakshapata Samprantanakramakaro Bhayagirna Sindhu Shirasya Arhanam Parigrihya Rupi Padaravindamupagamya Babhasha Etat. After reaching the beach, Lord Ramachandra fasted for 3 days, awaiting the arrival of the ocean. The ocean did not come. The Lord exhibited his pastime of anger, and by glancing over the ocean, all the with it, including the crocodiles and sharks, were agitated by then the ocean approached Lord Rama. vayam jaladhiyo vidam bhumam kustanam purusham jagatam adhisham yat sattvatsura gana rajasa prajesha manyoscha bhutapsa bhavan gunesha. Oh, all pervasive supreme person, we are dull-minded, we do not understand who you are. But now we understand that you are the supreme person of the entire universe, the unchanging and original personality of God. The demigods are infatuated with the mode of goodness, the Prajapati with the mode of passion, and the Lord of hosts with the mode of ignorance. But you are the master of all these qualities. Purport. Oh, dang it. Well, everybody, what do you think? My mobile data not be working well enough, so should just stop for today, and then we can continue with. Hopefully, the Wi-Fi will be working by tomorrow. What do you think? Let me know what you think. I'll one more verse while I wait. So should purport. A person with such intelligence cannot understand the personality of God. Cannot understand the of a man. Okay. I just want to finish this one purport. I'm just finishing this one purport. So not too much. I'll stop reading, but I just want to finish this one purport, and then we can continue from tomorrow. So let me share my screen again. Oh God, it's not even shared. I'm just finishing this purport. The word Jadadiya refers to intelligence like of an animal. A person with such intelligence cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead without being beaten and understand the purpose of a man. Similarly, those who are dull-minded cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but when punished severely by the modes of material nature, they begin to understand him. A Hindi poet has said, Dukha se sab hari bhaje, sukha se bhaje koi, sukha se agar hari bhaje, dukha katan se hoy. When one is distressed, if he goes to the church or temple to worship when one is distressed, he goes to the temple or church to worship. But when opulent, he forgets the Lord. Therefore, punishment by the Lord through material nature is necessary in human society, for without it, men forget the supremacy of the Lord due to their dull, blunt intelligence. Okay, I'm ending here. And we can continue tomorrow. Okay. Hari Bol, everybody. Bye. Gurudev, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta ki jai, Sīta and Rāma ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vijay, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanand Hari Hari Bol. Vrindayat. Om Devaya Priyaya Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyaya Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanashnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sorry about that.